Hey guys, Otto here, back with another video. Hope you're all doing well. Now guys, in this video, what I'm going to go through is a very succinct piece of training. Now, this piece of training is going to help anybody who is looking to develop a product from scratch and do it in a way where you don't potentially have to lose hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of hours actually developing and building that product for it to then launch and flop and you make no money from it. Okay. So I'm going to show you specifically what we did to launch our product suite. And we're going to answer some pretty common questions here. Okay. So one of the things that I was unsure of before I actually started selling information and selling our, digital suite of products really revolved around where to start. Okay. So I didn't know how I actually could create an offer for a digital product or servicing that would actually bang as opposed to an offer that would flop. I didn't really understand product alignment and how that kind of related to saturation. So I'm going to show you exactly how in this training what we were able to do to basically have a flagship offer, but also offer a range of other lower ticket items without actually diluting the value of our flagship offer. I'm going to talk to you again about hero products versus multiple SKUs and how you should actually price those products, as well as specifically what we do and the process that we go through to actually reverse engineer demand and how we can differentiate creating a product that your audience is going to like to a product that they're actually going to buy and give you money for. Okay. So there's a number of different things we're going to go over in this video. So sit tight, make some notes, make sure you're in a quiet environment, because by the end of this video, what you're going to be able to actually do is create a product that's going to sell. Okay. So it's incredibly important. Now that might be a community, it might be a flagship coaching offer, whatever it might be. If you are running an agency, if you're selling information, if you're a consultant or a coach, this is going to be the right video for you. Okay. So one of the things that I do with all of our community members is I try not to, I believe in selling. I have a business. It's not a charity. We make money in the business. We make our clients money. So I'm not opposed to selling in any way. But one thing I tell our community members is to basically not listen to me. So if you're interested in enrolling with us, joining our flagship program, working with us, partnering us, don't take my word verbatim. Actually look at all of the proof, look at all of the before and after testimonials and screenshots we've got inside the free community in Discord. I'll drop a link below, and look at all of the screenshots that we've got on our flagship offer landing page too. We've got loads of video reviews here. And then if I just scroll down, we've got loads of comments and testimonials on our success section of our landing page too. So like I say, look through all of the reviews. Look at people who were in your position. These people were in your position that you're in now. They've been able to actually transform what they're doing. We've had guys join the community. Gary joined, said he made over 10K in one day. Max, Mick, we had loads of different people join. So like I say, jump into the free community and take a look at the proof. The proof is in the pudding, as they say. All right, guys. So like I say, this piece of training here is for you if you are an info agency owner. So if you have an agency and you're looking to get more clients, this is the right training for you. Equally, if you sell information already, say you've got some low ticket products, maybe you're charging $37 for a one-off digital product, and you actually want to be able to charge 4K, 6K, 12K, or 36K, then we're going to help you do that in this training here. Maybe you have a SaaS company, or maybe you're interested in building out a product or an offer where you can actually have some predictable monthly recurring revenue. And we're going to go through exactly how to do that here and how to actually test and validate ideas before you work on them. And basically, this is for anybody who's wanting to build out their digital product and actually stop trading time for money. Because at the end of the day, whether you're at the beginning or the middle or end of your business genesis, you're always going to be looking to pull yourself further and further out of the business and away from the business and away from service delivery, so that you can stop spending your time, and basically getting paid to spend your time. Okay, that's not what we want as an entrepreneur. Okay, so maybe you're in a position where you are watching my video, you're watching a lot of people's videos online. You're basically seeing people that don't speak as well as you do. They're not as intelligent as you are. They don't create as good products as you do. They're not as good at branding or writing copy. Basically, they're dumber than you, but they're obviously making a lot more money than you. Maybe they're making 30K a month, 100K, 400K, whatever it might be. And you're in a position now where you're just sick to see these people who are ultimately stupider, more stupid than you are, make more money than you. It's unfair, and that's a position you're in. Okay. Maybe you equally are just as good as spotting trends. So you watch a lot of YouTube, you're in a load of servers, you're identifying products and services and offers that are actually working really well. And if you know, were paid $1 million now to actually build out an offer, you would know exactly what to do. You've got thousands of notes on your notes app, or you've got loads of Notion pages of all of the ideas and offers that you want to bring to the market. But the thing that's stopping you right now is basically lack of income, chaos. You don't know where to start, and you're overwhelmed because you're not making any money. Okay. You might already also be in a position where you want to leverage paid communities. I talked a little bit about ensuring monthly recurring revenue. Maybe you are just attracted to the scalability of digital products. You don't want to bring on a new client and then have increasing variable costs and the feeling that every new client you bring on is just going to bring on a load more work for you and stress. You're going to have to hire more people. And actually you want to lean on the scalability of digital products where you sell them and then you don't have to actually deliver a service. Maybe that's you. Okay, you might be in a position as well. We were in a long time ago now, fortunately, but you're struggling to actually get clients. So you've got a client acquisition problem. Okay, you're in a position where you've got your sales assets. You know you're good at writing copy. You've got a landing page. You're doing a bit of outreach, but you just can't seemingly close clients. Okay, and when you do close clients, you're just being seen as a low value commodity. Okay, so maybe you're struggling to bill any more than $1,000 to $2,500 per month. A lot of the members that enroll in our flagship program are in this position right now, so you're not alone. And we help those guys go from a low ticket offer to be able to work with clients who you can actually charge ultra high ticket prices to the tune of 100K per year at a minimum. Okay, so maybe you're just simply, you know, sick of the fact that you're just being seen. You've got a perceived low value. Every time you're doing outreach, you're getting responded to like you are a 15-year-old, you know, in their mum's basement trying to offer copywriting services or whatever it might be. And actually you do have a legitimate business. You have an offer that adds value and you're just not getting the traction for it. Okay. So maybe that's you too. You might also be in a position, it's kind of synonymous with struggling with client acquisition, where you're spinning your wheels with various different outreach methodologies. You're on lots of different channels. You're going omni-channel, and you're actually not sure which channel or which method or blueprint to commit yourself to. Okay, so 1 minute you might be on cold email and the power of, you know, reaching out to prospects via email, and that being the holy grail and the be all end all to getting new high ticket clients. Then the next day you're switching over to Twitter box, maybe it's Instagram DMs. You're trying to automate everything, and really what you're doing is spreading yourself so thinly that you're actually not booking any calls, you're not closing, and you're not making any more money. Okay. So if this is you, chances are you're probably getting to a point where you are losing hope. Okay, so believe me when I tell you this, I've been in the game. It's over 6 years now, feeling like an OG, even though my content journey is pretty, you know, juvenile at this stage. But you're probably, if you're struggling with all of these things, okay, if you're watching others win and succeed, you're struggling to actually get clients yourself, you're losing money, you're not making any money, you're potentially going into debt and you're just panicking, then you will be losing hope. Okay, you'll be in a position where you just can't see the light. You know that you still have that flickering flame inside of you that is telling you, and it's not even telling you, you know that you're going to win. It's just a matter of time. But right now you're just not there, and it's frustrating. Okay, I understand that, and I've been there. Okay, so this training is going to help with that. All right, and it might be too, like I say, I've been in these positions. I was in this position specifically when running the email agency, where I was starting to feel like I didn't actually want to bring on any new clients. And that was because every new client that we brought on, because of our internal systems and basically the chaos of running a traditional brick and mortar agency on the retainer model, it got to the point where every new client just meant a load more stress. Okay, it meant more people that we had to keep happy. Ultimately, it meant more fires to put out. Our variable costs just skyrocketed. We didn't have control over anything, and I basically built I negatively conditioned myself when it came to client acquisition, which is a terrible position to be in, and I do not recommend it, because you have to do a significant amount of soul searching to actually escape that and get to a point where you've got energy back and you actually want to grow your business. Okay, so this is even at a time when we were making money. Money wasn't the problem. But you will learn that in your business genesis, if you're not there already, when you do get there and you make enough money, then money doesn't become the motivator. Okay, I don't make these videos because they will instantly make me more money and I'm money obsessed. Okay, it doesn't work like that. If you have money and you make money, then you're not motivated really to do much else. Okay, if you're only focused on the money. All right, so maybe this is you, and like I say, if it is, we're gonna talk through this and help you. Okay, so really, what this comes down to in this training is about reverse engineering $1 million products. Okay, and how you can actually make 1 to 3 million annual recurring revenue, which is easier than you probably thinking it is sat where you are right now. I'm going to show you how you can do that by creating offers that sell. Now, the whole kind of offer buzzword, since all of the work that Hormozi's done has become incredibly oversaturated. There's thousands of videos out there about how to create offers that sell. But really what this video comes down to is actually how you can link a successful offer to a product that helps you generate 7-8 figures a year. Okay, so we've gone over these points here, and maybe this is the timeline that you're on right now. You might be on offer 1, you might be on offer 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever it might be, or you might be on offer 6. You might have gone a number of different years or months without making any money. Now you've made a small amount of money on a monthly recurring basis, and actually you want to exponentially grow that to making a lot more. Okay, maybe you make 10K a month, you want to make 100K a month. All right, and that's the difference between what a good offer and what a good product development process is. The guys that are making this kind of money don't go out to the market blind. They're not going to say, right, I'm going to create the best offer today and I'm going to sell it to people and they're going to buy it. There's a specific process that they go through to actually reverse engineer their desired monthly recurring revenue and income that they actually want to generate from a goal perspective, and how that translates into the type of product that they make, and then how and who they sell it to. I'm going to show you how we do it below. All right. So when it comes to offers, we've got a few offers. Okay, so within the acquisition partner ecosystem, these are the offers that we've got currently. All right, now we don't promote these actively to top of funnel cold audience, really, because it's not relevant. And really, the only things that we do promote are the free course and our free services. Okay, so what we've got here is the 5 days to 100K free course. On the 5 days landing page, which I can go over to here, believe it or not, from a very simple kind of reductionist landing page here, we're doing conversion rates of, I think we're 60 to 80% conversion rates. So of all the traffic that lands on the 5 days to 100K free course, where you get over 39 plus modules on ultra high ticket client acquisition strategies, we're getting 60 to 80% of people opt in. Okay, so that means all of those individuals that, if 100 individuals land on this web page in any period of time, 80 of them are actually going to sign up and join our ecosphere. Okay. All right. So one thing, because I was about to exit here, we've got an exit intent pop up to go over to rate my offer. Now, what we want to do and what I want to do really when I set out on this content journey was that I'd been running a business basically offline for 5.5 years. I had done that without producing any sort of online course. I did not make my money from selling a $997 program that people sit down and watch videos on and then go their separate ways and sort of lose money from. I actually built a real business. It took a number of different years, and it's only been a few months now that I've been sharing these kind of Loom style explainer videos that previously I was sharing internally with my team. Now I'm just opening up the floor to other people just like yourself who are in a position where you could benefit from the content. Okay, if you haven't joined the free course, jump in there and go through all the content. I've had thousands of people go through already to date. And then with Rate My Offer, what we do for free as well is if you enter your offer through this process, we will actually give you a score. I think it's out of 29 input variables that are all based on and drawing on elements of Hormozi's 100 million offer framework, as well as a variety of other inputs that we use within the acquisition partner program too. So there's 29 data points that we use to actually assess your offer. And by the end of it, you'll get an idea for free instantly. It takes about 30 seconds to go through the process. You'll get an idea of whether your offer is actually a converting offer or not. Okay. And we'll show you how to tailor it and change it. All right. So we've got a few free offers here. We've also got the paid community, which I'll go over to community. So we've actually got, need to update this. We've got over 300 members now in the client acquisition community. The community's on Discord. Like I say, we've got loads of before and after screenshots here, and we've just updated the pricing. So if you are trying to get in on our old pricing and you can't afford the new pricing, send me a DM and I'll see what I can do. But just jumping back We've also got the Ecom Email Accelerator. Now, anybody who is running an Ecom email agency, this is going to be relevant for you. You'll know about this if you're in the free community. I'm not going to go into it here because it's not something that we actively promote. It's not an online course or anything like that. Really what it is a manual process that my team and I will go through, where if you've got an email marketing agency or you want to launch an email agency and acquire ecom clients, we will actually build out all of the infrastructure that we use to do over 10 million in ecom email agency sales directly into your email service provider account. Okay, so we use Klaviyo as our ESP of choice. It is the ESP, of choice for pretty much all ecom brands if they want to future-proof their companies. And if you're offering ecom email services to brands, then we definitely recommend jumping on to Klaviyo and creating a free account. So if you want to know more about this and the price point, go into the free community. And then we've got our flagship acquisition partner program, where we will help you close 3 to 5 100K per year clients within 90 days, or you get your money back. It's a 90-day business accelerator with a extended 12 months of one-on-one direct support. It's our flagship high ticket offer. It's only available to established business owners or individuals like yourself if you have the required level of insight that it actually takes to make something like this a success. Okay, so if you are a 15-year-old, and you're trying to do copywriting, this is not the program for you. If you're running an AI automation agency, SMMA, maybe you are a consultant. And if you are operating in the financial or legal or healthcare, medical, creative verticals, then this will be the program for you. Okay, so this is a brief overview from our offers, but we didn't go from day one creating these offers in order to sell them. Okay, it's not why I started creating content. Really, in my sort of offer and business genesis, things started off from very humble beginnings. Now I've put here 500K to 100K. This represents 500 to 100K. This represents £500 a month to 100K a year clients, which is what we do now. But really, my first project that I ever billed for, I think, was £40. So I put dollars here. I guess that's $50 maybe, but $40. It was actually a copywriting project for a local personal trainer guy, where I cold pitched him over email to rewrite, I think, a few pages on his website, and that was the first ever project that I got paid for as a marketing agency. As the kind of first foray into my online business, kind of roadmap, I guess. That quickly and swiftly moved on to $500 per month. That was, again, for copywriting. That was for, at the time, and this was years ago now, 6 years ago now, my first retainer client was a local cardboard manufacturing business. Actually, they were a pretty legitimate family business. I think they were doing over sort of 15 to 20 million in annual revenue anyway. But they were still family run. I closed the deal in person with the son of the father who founded the business. He worked with his brother, and that kind of started my journey to monthly retainer payments. Moving on from there, I iterated on what we were doing. We actually niched down further into providing email as a service to brands. And we quickly worked through the ranks of the monthly retainer kind of traditional offer. We started billing $1,000 a month, $2,500 a month, to the point where we were pretty much on average charging 5K per month per individual client. Things were incredibly scalable. We weren't taking up a lot of our time. And then we moved into the arena of securing 100K deals. Now, I've got a load of different videos on how we actually did that. So make sure you've subscribed to the channel if you haven't already, and have a good look through all of the video explainers that I've produced to date, as well as the free course, because I show you exactly what we did in order to start commanding these fees and go from basically charging $40 per one-off individual projects to only working with clients on a minimum basis of 100K per year. All right. So what I'm going to do now, guys, is actually talk to you a little bit about my approach. All right. And what I did with the acquisition partner business model in order to go from having absolutely no products and no services or offers to having a suite of products and services that do considerably well in terms of acquired users every single month, and of course, monthly recurring revenue. All right. So the first step here is surrounds itself of the concept of validation. All right. So one thing that I realized at the time was that I had, from running a business for 5.5 years, I had a huge ton of insight, knowledge, and information that I had basically acquired from a qualitative point of view, from watching others doing what basically I wanted to achieve in the marketplace. Okay, so this market research came from YouTube, what's working, what was popular, how things were changing at the time. when I first started, it was really the kind of gold rush of, social media marketing agencies. And I remember at the time, all of the online gurus were kind of saying, look, if you have 10 clients and they're all paying you $1,000 a month, and that's $10,000 per month recurring revenue. Okay. It's at this point in time where that is a figure that, would be, I guess, scary for me to even consider earning at the moment, because really, if you operate in business for long enough and you have employees and things like that, 10K a month doesn't go far in any means. Okay. So really what it starts with is actually validating the idea before you launch it. Now, if you don't have a social media presence, which you probably don't at this stage, what you're going to have to do is cold outreach. Now, this is what we did. 5.5 years, we only used cold outreach to build our business. Okay, we didn't produce a single piece of online content. We didn't sell an online course, anything like that. We acquired all of our clients through cold outreach, and then referrals through those clients on the back end. Okay, so what you need to look for when you're validating cold outreach are your standard metrics. Okay, are your emails being opened? Open rates are a little bit cloudy these days anyway, due to all of the implications of Google's privacy updates, things like that. But what you want to keep an eye on is opens, clicks, click-through rates, and booked call rates. Okay, so through your outreach with the offers that you're testing, simply, are people opening them? Are they interested? And are you booking calls? Okay, if you are, good, you need to continue. If you're not, then tailor your offer and change it. All right. One thing you then need to focus on after that is client acquisition. So you can look at your kind of vanity metrics, see whether your emails are being opened, whether your outreach messaging is being well received. But if you're not booking calls from that, and you're not actually able to close clients after those conducted calls, then there's obviously something wrong with that offer. So you need to keep going through a process of validation in order to get to a point where you're basically working with an offer that you can actually close clients on. All right. And once you get that first client closed, you're going to have proof of concept, and it's going to build a load of confidence for you going forward and actually replicating those results with future clients. All right. So finally, in the validation phase, what you want to look at is revenue. Now, it might be that your cold outreach has worked really well. You're booking loads of calls with your ICPs, your potential new clients. You are successfully closing them. But the problem is the offer that you are actually putting forth to them is incredibly low ticket. It doesn't actually solve, a real niggling pain point or desperation point for that client. And you're not able to charge that much for the service that you're delivering. Okay. So how price sensitive is what you're doing? What you need to do is try and play around with price increases. Okay. So if you are delivering a service like email marketing, it might be that you have gone out and got a little bit of success with charging $1,000 per month retainers, and actually you want to charge $5,000 per month retainers or $4,000 per month retainers, whatever it might be. What you need to do within this validation phase is actually test those price increases and see how sensitive your target audience is to your price increases. Okay. And what this will give you is an idea of really the kind of glass ceiling with how much you're able to charge for your service. All right. The next step in our approach was then to deliver that service. So with email marketing, it was really a matter of how easy is it for us to deploy this, how much joy and enjoyment can we get from doing it. If you're delivering a service, even if you're not doing it yourself physically, but if it's a service that you don't like, or say you're offering VA services or whatever it might be, and you have no interest in that, then it's going to be a lot harder to actually come up with the motivation and the energy to keep going with these offers and to keep validating them. Okay. You need to keep an eye on variable costs too. So when you are delivering your service, what are the variable costs like? What does it look like every time you bring on a new client? Do you have to exponentially grow your team, grow your resource base? And is that going to put a downward pressure on your profit margins? Okay. So finding an offer where you can have maximum enjoyment, it's easy to actually deliver it, and you can keep your variable costs low, then that's going to be an offer that's going to be much more, higher hitting than an offer that is harder to deliver. And with every new client, you have to basically ramp up all of your costs and erode your profit margin. Okay. So during this process, what you'll be doing and what we did was basically generate results for our clients. We got better at delivering our service and getting them results. And then in turn, we got reviews and testimonials, and we were able to build a body of social proof. Okay. So during this process of delivery, we would also concurrently iterate on the service that we are delivering. Now, when you iterate, you're going to start basically deploying SOPs. You're going to create systems. You're going to bring on key hires and employees. In the process of bringing on those key hires and employees, you're going to actually map out hiring processes. You're going to physically and tangibly write down all of these protocols and blueprints so that you can hand them off to your staff in order for basically them to deploy them and you to step out of the business. Okay. Again, in this process, what you'll be doing is improving bottlenecks. So maybe you've got issues with your sales process. Maybe your onboarding is confusing and it's taking too long. Your service delivery is kind of layered and more complicated than it could be and should be. So you go through a process of improving that. Okay, and that's what we did with Acquisition Partner. Now, the next stage, once you've validated your offer, you've delivered it, you're in the process of delivering it and iterating it and optimizing it. What you need to do is focus on scale. Okay, so what can you do to maximum ramp? What can you do to basically go from charging $2,000 per month retainers to $20,000 per month retainers in the shortest amount of time possible? And whilst you're doing that, how can you actually remove yourself and rely on the systems and SOPs and automations, whatever it might be, delegations that you've created in phase 3 here in the iteration process? Okay, so this isn't just about systemizing service delivery. It's actually about systemizing everything from cash flow generation, RevOps, your day-to-day operations, sales processes, and what you're doing to market your services too. Okay. So again, like I say, guys, I'm not going to go into all of these in detail. If you want to see the details at a more granular level, then join the free course, sign up there, and you'll get 39 plus modules on this anyway. All right. So what we did after this process, okay, and bear in mind for us, this kind of happened over a period of 5.5 years, really. And that wasn't 5.5 years of validating our idea and not making any money. That was pretty much validating very, very quickly, and then spending 5.5 years delivering our service, running a traditional agency, okay, a legitimate business where we were constantly looking to improve, optimize, and grow. All right. And what that did was basically brought me to a point where I thought, I'm sharing videos like this internally with my team. And actually, we've gone so long, and it was kind of due to a personal preference of not wanting to use social media and actually not consuming social media, was that, at the time I kind of had to ask myself, was my avoidance of social media actually causing a hindrance or being a detriment to my business growth? And really, I guess it was 5.5 years in the making of me watching others, watching others that potentially didn't have the experience that I've actually built to date. They weren't making as much money as me, but they were, monetizing their content strategy, producing content really quickly and easily, and adding different revenue streams to their businesses. So it kind of got to a point where I just couldn't spend another moment. I couldn't go any longer ignoring it. And really, I wanted to start seeing what kind of results I could get from sharing content just like this. Okay. So what that brought me to was a bit of a content strategy and goals. Okay. And really what my content strategy is and focused on at the time was ease, replicability, and dissemination. And I really wanted to find a way to basically avoid analysis paralysis and just record a video and disseminate it. Okay. I didn't want to mess around with thumbnails. I didn't want to mess around with editing. And really I was able to do this because I'd gone through this process. All right. I was making money already. I didn't have to share videos in order to make money. So really what I could do was focus on raw content and straight up value, as opposed to kind of buffering and clouding everything with fancy editing and trying to get a load of entertainment, attention. That way, I could really just produce videos like this that go straight to the source of value and will really speak to you if you're in the market to grow and actually use the information. Okay, and that's what my content strategy has been this whole time. All right, so I've gone through a few things to try and refine that content. And what I'm going to talk through now in a moment is NPS and what you can basically do to create content that not only entertains and educates, but also is content that you can leverage to then get attention and then sell your product or service to in order to add that as a revenue stream to your business. All right. So after actually building a proper business, an actual offline business that made money, like I say, didn't rely on content or an online course to do so. And after that period of time that I'm in really now of sharing that content, I was able to get to a point where I could actually productize a lot of the information and the systems and services that we've built and used to date into a product. Okay. Now I went through a very specific blueprint of how to do this without wasting a load of the time that I do not have in building out something that eventually might just flop. And I have no guaranteed way of knowing whether that product or service is actually going to sell. Okay. So the way that I did this was to leverage a few inputs here. Okay. And the first input was feedback, research, and insight. So I've already had a good level of insight. I've done a lot of research, but in producing and sharing and disseminating content, I was starting through the community and through YouTube and Twitter, whatever it might be, emails, direct emails too. I was getting a load of feedback from people about what was working and what was not working. Okay. So we've got some of the feedback up here. I was getting individuals, and I guess I didn't really expect it. I see positive comments on other people's videos, and I wasn't making videos in order to please a certain demographic or entertain a certain demographic. I've only made videos on things that I've actually done and my own experience and what I've achieved. Okay. Find when you start sharing content based on your previous experience and sort of your results and big wins that you've got over time, is that in attracting other people who want to replicate that, you're going to start to get your kind of feelers aligned and attuned into what people would actually be interested in buying and engaging with. Okay. Now there's a key difference between what people find interesting to what they will actually buy and how they will actually vote with, spending money. And so it's important not to just build out, resources or courses or coaching products that are based on, a kind of guess and a whim or, a positive comment here or there. You really need to find a way to validate that product quickly and actually take a payment for it. Okay. So people will often say, oh, I love that, I'd find it super valuable, but it's not until they actually pay for it that they actually prove that and sort of show that their intent is truthful. Okay. So what we were able to do was build an MVP, so a minimum viable product, and basically sell before we built. So in the first iterations of the acquisition partner program, our flagship offer, it's not that we didn't have a product available already. We already had, all of the SOPs, all of the automations, all of the Zaps, whatever it might, CRMs, all of the internal Google Docs. We already had basically what formed the backbone of a high ticket and ultra high ticket coaching product. We just hadn't necessarily consolidated it and put all the time into pulling it all together and optimizing it. Okay. But what we were able to do was start selling that based off of the feedback and interest that we were getting. And we could, during that process, because we hadn't actually finalized and built out the full product, we could actually listen to our target audience and listen to those individuals who'd given us positive feedback and get their direct input. Okay. So instead of building out things that we anticipated or thought might be useful, we're getting it directly from the horse's mouth, and then we were putting that into the program itself. And this is a strategy that we've done as an acquisition partner, working with our own clients too. So when we close a 100K a year deal with a business, a CEO that's doing over 25 million in annual turnover, or 100 million or 250 million, and they're operating in the medical niche or the financial niche, we oftentimes don't actually start and initiate a conversation with them based on a specific offer. Okay. If you go and try and approach and trying to close a client like that based on, we do Facebook ads for $500 a month, they will just flat out ignore you. Okay. But through our consultative sales process, what we are able to do is basically reverse engineer, leveraging and using key pieces of information in order to basically curate and build a bespoke offer that matches their most deepest pressing and painful issues that they're facing in their business. Okay. Now there's a number of ways that we do this, which I'm going to go into here. Okay. So if you are building out a new product, what you're going to find is a few common errors. Okay. So what you're probably doing is spending too much time on what you think people want versus what they actually will pay for. Okay. And I've talked about that already. You might also be confusing what your audience likes with what they say they want. Okay. So these are kind of two very similar points here. You might find that you get some brand enthusiasts and they say, yeah, we want sales call recordings, whatever it might be. But actually, when it comes to packaging that up as a product and then putting a price to it, they don't buy it. Okay. So you need to get to a point where you can discern those two kind of motivating activities. You might also think here that you don't have to, or that you won't have to have a sales process. Okay. So if you are selling a digital product, yes, you can scale it easily in terms of the service delivery, but you might be under the, you might be misinterpreting the fact that you can just sit back and not sell it. All right. But some things that you're going to have to face is actually iterating and developing your sales process. And you're going to have to get to a point where you're not only producing content that resonates with your target audience, but you're bringing in a team that can do for you all of the necessary steps and actions regarding follow-up and pushing that sell through the sales process, so that you can take the lead from a warm, interested, engaged lead to actually paying you cash collected and you were working with them as a client. Okay. You might feel like the quickest way to achieving product alignment is to copy others. So you might think, we're successful in delivering the acquisition partner model as a coaching program, so I'm going to do it too. I'm going to become an acquisition partner, and I'm going to sell the acquisition partner program too. You will never be able to copy what we do, not least by the fact that you will be 6+ years behind us at any one point in time, and it's going to be the same if you're trying to copy anybody else out there. If you're trying to copy a guy who sells a school creation course or whatever it might be, or an SMMA or an AI automation agency, okay, you need to find what your niche is, and you need to commit to that niche, okay? It might be too that you are facing a situation where your offer is misaligned with not only your personal positioning in the marketplace, but your business's positioning too. Okay, so it might be that you have a great offer, but it might just be that your offer really doesn't align with who you are, your image, and what people perceive you to be. Okay, and this is that typical case of like the 15-year-old with the cap backwards and the hoodie up in their mum's basement. Maybe they're not English speaking, whatever it might be, pitching ultra high ticket offers to private equity companies or angel investors, whatever it might be. Unfortunately, your positioning in the marketplace, your personal brand, is not actually going to match the value that you arguably might still be able to deliver to those clients. Okay, so what we recommend is truly understanding your audience, and not just focusing on their content needs and that you have to educate them and entertain them, but also making sure that everything is aligned. Okay, so what we do with the acquisition partner program, it's an ultra high ticket program. We charge a lot of money for any individual to enroll and invest in. It's application only. We turn away more people than we accept. And the reason that we can do that is because we operate an ultra high ticket consulting business. Okay, we work with our own clients, but we're making 100K per year from one client alone. It's very easy for us to then sell a coaching program where we basically help and guarantee others to do the same. Okay, so if you're not in the market for that, then you don't have to apply. We don't want you. You're not going to be a good fit for the program. But if you run an agency, if you're struggling to charge, higher ticket retainers, whatever it might be, you're looking to actually sell systems, build them up front and release them to your clients, then we might be the program for you. Okay, but like I say, it's all application only. It's heavily ring fenced. And if I was, a young kid, I don't know, riding a skateboard, trying to sell Instagram products, whatever it might be, then you wouldn't look to me to be an authority on that. Okay. The reason that you look to me to be an authority on that is that I have the track record to prove it, and we've got the social proof behind us as well. All right. So I'm going to just skim over this here, okay, guys, but what I'll do is I'm going to share this document in the community. So if you want to get your hands on it, you can jump into the community, you can get access there. But what you'll see, if you read any business book, if you Google this online, about how to actually secure product alignment before spending and wasting potentially hundreds of hours on building a product that nobody pays for, is the concept of the Net Promoter Score. And what this really comes down to is picking out key metrics that indicate success in your product development and sales process, really success metrics surrounding your whole business, from a holistic perspective, and then apportioning a score to those key metrics, weighting them and sort of blending the average across the board, and then comparing your offers based on the score. Okay, so what we would do up here with our offers is we might look at, where are they? We might look at, email opens and click-through rates and sales per month, or calls booked, demos performed, whatever it might be, new clients onboarded, and compare those scores against each of the products that we offer here, and then say, actually, with the AP program, the score is 100. With the Ecom Email Accelerator, it's 2. With the paid community, it's 1 or 0. That means we need to get rid of these offers and focus solely on the acquisition partner program. Okay. And the reason that we, from an NPS point of view, run with these 3 core paid offers here is that they all have really high net promoter scores in our eyes. Okay. Now, I'm not one to really focus on the granular kind of nitty gritty of the data, because I think if you focus on this process here, where you ultimately identify KPIs and then you collate data together, you assign weights, you look at it from a numerical mathematical point of view, you normalize and weight the data, make it all relative, you then calculate the weighted scores, you sum them, you analyze, interpret them, and then you take action based on those insights. 9 times out of 10, you will look at this, it will be too complicated, too boring, and you actually won't take any action and you won't get any insights, from this process at all. Okay. Really what you need to do from a top level point of view is focus on a couple of key metrics. Okay. The first one is, are you making any money? Okay. So is what you're doing right now making any money? And how long have you been doing it for? If you've been doing it for 2 weeks and you've not done any outreach and you've not produced any content, then you basically haven't started. Okay. But if you've been doing outreach consistently every single day, you've been producing content every single day, whatever it might be, for months and months and months and months on end, and what you're doing, despite all of your iterations and your changes and your optimizations that you've done, despite doing all of that, if you're still not making money, then chances are you've not got good product alignment. Okay, you need to change, and you need to go through a process like this in order to find a product and an offer from a numerical perspective that will actually give you the confidence to pursue it. Okay. So here's what you need to do finally, all right, to create a product that you can build 100K a year for, 36K up front for. With the acquisition partner program, we're ultra high ticket now. When we first deployed the program on our kind of limited launch availability kind of phase, we were billing, I think, 4K enrollment fees for that. That's obviously almost 10x at this point now. So, this is a process, and I'm going to run through that very quickly here for you guys to go through. Okay. So the first one is, if you're in a position where you don't know what niche to focus in, stop focusing and trying to nail a niche and actually attack the vertical. So it might be that you've looked at, I don't know, med spas as a niche, or medical lasers or devices as a niche, whatever it might be. If you don't know what offer will work in that niche, you need to zoom out and focus on the vertical. Okay. So instead of focusing on med spas, you will focus on medical or healthcare as a vertical. Okay. And what you need to do within that vertical is focus on top line revenue metrics. So our clients in that vertical, do they make money? Are they historical businesses? Are they recession proof? If there are basically companies that exist like that in that pool, in that vertical, then it's potentially going to be one that's lucrative for you. Okay. So what you don't want to do is basically pin yourself to the cross of one niche. We see so many guys committing to solar for some reason. And I think it's because of some of the other online gurus are basically pitching solar as the next gold rush, whatever it might be, I think it's the back end of that offer anyway. Now it has been over the last sort of 12 to 18 months. But what you don't want to do is come new to the market, with a fresh offer. Nobody knows who you are, and you basically restrict yourself. So you offer solar leads to office buildings in Los Angeles, whatever it might be. It's going to be very hard for you to zoom out of that and actually produce content that resonates with a wider, acquisition pool that you can then test and validate your ideas with. All right. So at this stage, what you want to do is basically make sure that your offer aligns with your positioning. So maybe you have a great offer about, I don't know, you're you weave handmade baskets, and your offer is about how you'll make the best handmade baskets. And actually it's a great offer to people who want that. But then, you try to pivot to selling ultra high ticket business development services. Okay. Your offer is not going to align. Your new offer, iterated offer, is not going to align with your positioning that you've created for yourself. All right. And for us, we offer a service here with ecom email agencies because it's based on our experience. But the way that we were able to generate over 10 million in agency sales is really covered in the acquisition partner program. Okay. So all of these kind of tangential and flagship offers and upsells and cross sells are all heavily and closely interlinked. It's not like we're saying here, we've got an online course of how to create a Facebook ads agency, and then the top level course is, how I make 400K a month coaching. Okay. You need to make sure that your offers are closely aligned, right, for your product to be a success. Now, if you don't know whether you should run with an agency offer, a coaching, or a consulting offer, what we recommend doing is basically coming across as a partner. All right. So what you need to do is partner and provide. So approach every new relationship from a partnership perspective. In the UK, we have estate agents. Estate agents sell houses. It's one of the most kind of least trusted industries and professions in the UK. So it's very difficult for a new estate agent company or individual to come to the market and build trust. Okay. So for that reason, what we would recommend in that scenario is, instead of saying I'm an estate agent and I run an estate agency, come from the perspective that you are a property consultant, or you're a, I don't know, whatever it might be, property investor partner, property partner. Okay. And you can already see, just from a kind of verbiage point of view, the type of, or the level of perceived kind of worth that a client will have if they see you as being one compared to the other. Okay, so stop trying to come across as a freelancer or an agency, and actually position yourself as a partner that provides a truly valuable service. All right. So through this process, what you can do is reveal pain points from your ICPs. Within the acquisition partner program, we have a proprietary system that we run all of our candidates through, who basically sit down with CEOs of companies that are doing 10 million plus to 500 million in some cases, where they will go through a series of questioning and questions and protocols to actually reverse engineer what those individuals are struggling with within the business. I will put a caveat: it's not based on emotion. You're not going to pitch these clients based on, partner with us and pay us and you'll be able to buy a Lamborghini. It doesn't work with that at this level of sales, but we run you through it through the Acquisition Partner Program. Okay. From that point of view, we then help you create a bespoke offer. Okay. So you actually don't start really with the offer. You start with the vertical, and then we help you niche down and really sort of hone in on your offer so that it can command those fees. All right. So if you're in the position here, okay, so you have chosen your wider vertical, maybe it's medical, healthcare, maybe it's creative, financial, property, whatever it might be. You're now positioned as a partner as opposed to just a employee or a freelancer or a consultant. What you need to start doing is create content based on your experience, okay? If you haven't got any experience today, experience can literally be what you did this morning in order to launch a new outreach sequence, okay? And the reason that that's important is that you will probably think that this information isn't going to be useful for anybody. Okay. I'm already 45 minutes into this video. If you're watching this video, you're going to be part of basically a very select few people, a group of people who are going to use this information, consume it, and actually apply it to their business. Okay. All of the other individuals that clicked off at 5 minutes, that have then gone on to watching TikTok and Insta Reels or whatever, those aren't the individuals that this video is even designed for. Okay. So what you need to do is basically, it's kind of that kind of speed to lead, speed of implementation point of view. Do what you can just to create content and disseminate it. Okay, so I do it through Loom, or you can do it through Teller.tv. Do a quick screen share, write down what you've done, and just talk through it. Okay, and you'll be surprised by how many people that's actually going to help. All right. So some of my videos that surprise me the most have been the ones that I've thought for a long time, this isn't going to be useful for anybody. There's no point in making a video. And I think, screw it, I make a quick video, and then I get an overwhelming positive response from people saying, I can't believe it. Now I can send 1,000 customized looms per day without doing it manually. And I thought, well, that was a silly video to make. I've been doing it for years. Okay. All right. So once you've figured out basically how to create content, you just need to make sure that it's relevant to your vertical. All right. So simply, if you are making content on, your business, don't start uploading, shirtless selfies or making videos on how to lose weight or whatever it might be at this point of time. When you get bigger, if you become a guru, whatever, you'll see from those guys, they start making, really wholly generic content, how to make millions of dollars a year, whatever it might be, how to live your dream life, how to be a 1% male. And they can do that because that's what their content strategy dictates with their positioning in the marketplace at that period of time. All right. So just make sure it's relevant to your vertical. Okay. So from there, what you need to do is then analyze your feedback. So in order to actually come up with a successful winning product, you need to keep an eye on your feedback by producing content regularly and consistently. Don't look at your subscriber metrics. Don't even consider them or care about them. You're not in this game to become a YouTuber. You're in this game to create products that actually sell so that you can make money. Okay. And we were making, I can't even, from when we launched the AP flagship program, I think I had 75 YouTube subscribers or something like that. And that's really going to help you see the level of following that you need. Okay. With 75 followers, we were selling packages for 12K plus. All right. So this is the power of going through this process. All right. So once you are looking through your feedback, just be sure to save as much of it as possible. Okay. So all of the kind words that you get, and you will get negative words too. You'll get people saying negative things. You can't use it as a reflection of who you are and what your true value is, but save down all of the positive reviews, use them as testimonials and positive feedback. When clients ask you for social proof, it's a really quick and easy visual win to share this with them. All right. So really this next point here is kind of the maximum juice of the squeeze. So once you've gone through this process, you're attached to a vertical, you are seen as a partner. So you're not a commodity. You provide a bespoke one-on-one service. You're creating based on your experience. You're developing social proof. You're analyzing feedback and using that to actually iterate and kind of direct the content that you're making. What you can start to do is float ideas. Okay, so you can float ideas to your audience. You can say to them, look, according to me, from my research, my insight, I think this would be helpful. This would be useful. Would that be useful for you? What would you pay for it? Okay, just ask them open-ended questions, get feedback from them. This is going to help you gauge their interest. It might not directly translate into sales or revenue that you generate, but it's going to give you an idea of where to focus your efforts. Okay. Then the next thing you want to focus on is your MV payment, so minimum viable payment. And this really is the kind of bridging of the gap between interest and voting with their, voting with their wallet. You want to get to a point where you can actually start taking payment sooner rather than later. Okay. So there's no good getting a load of positive feedback and praise about potential product ideas. And then when it comes to launching those, nobody buys them. All right. So what this simply means is throwing up a landing page, getting a payment gateway set up, getting your automations in place so that if somebody pays, you can actually use that as physical proof that you should then commit everything to developing that product. All right. Now, what I recommend is having, the spine, the backbone, the core of your product ready to go. So if somebody does pay for what you are promoting, you can deliver that. So don't be in a position where you've got nothing built and you're basically selling thin air, and then you have to scrabble around to try and create something. Maybe that would work for low ticket products and offers that, if you have a unique I guess sort of background or piece of experience or knowledge that you could throw together in a day or a weekend, then by all means go for it. But what I'd recommend is just having obviously enough of your product there so that you can at least give value for the payment. All right. But what this is going to do, this is going to give you tangible proof of, product market fit. It's going to show that your product is aligned with your offer and your positioning, and it's going to give you an indication that you should commit to it. All right. So once you've had this indication, then it's time to build. So set aside either 5 days, 14 days, whatever it might be. I think the first iteration of the acquisition partner program, it was basically a 14-day process of doing 4 to 8 hour focus blocks every single day to develop that product out. And like I say, you can pull together all of your existing resources. If you've got a load of experience already, you've been running an agency, chances are you've got all of these internal documentation anyway that you can package into your product. Okay. And then as you are building, what you want to then focus on is adapting and iterating. So once you've built your product, you don't want to leave the product. You don't want to just focus on sales and marketing. There's a school of people that think that, successful sales is based on successful sales and marketing, that product comes second. Actually, what we believe is product comes first, and that we believe if we do a good job with sales, selling that product and marketing it, but really the product is the holy grail and the North Star, then individuals are going to, get the maximum return and results from that product. Through doing that, we're going to get more referrals, and we're going to actually make our whole system and ecosystem better in a business sense, right? So you want to adapt, and it might be that through your sales and marketing and your messaging, times change. You might have to change your verbiage. If you find that your offer isn't converting as much as it should, you're going to have to put some effort into that. But like we always say, focus on the product first, focus on making that the best. And then from your product, you can also, repurpose and curate content that your audience can consume for free. But if they join your product, they're going to get, maximum sort of unbridled access with all of your support too. All right. So hopefully, guys, this has helped you kind of go through a bit of a sequential timeline on how you can actually create an offer that sells, and how you can actually reverse engineer a product that won't flop once you launch it. All right. So if you're in a position now where you want to build a business where you're selling digital products or coaching offers, go through this document in detail. You can either increase the speed of this video, watch it back, take notes, and let me know in the comments below whether you have any questions. All right, guys, I'll catch you in the next one.